For us. Thank you. More on this now with Andrew Littman, Democratic strategist and former chief of staff to Senator Al Franken, and Antonia Ferrier, veteran Capitol Hill communications advisor and first time on the show, so we're glad to have you. Antonia, good to be here. Let me ask you to respond to this. This is Congressman Tom. Let me ask you to respond to this. This is Congressman Tom Graves. So he was just talking last night about what it was like to actually get this bill at midnight. He tweeted this. Here's my first look at the final conference report and supporting language. A total of 7 funding bills with 30 minutes notice. I was allowed 1 hour to review and had to make a choice. I could not sign off. So obviously there's other concerns about this, Antonia, but what do you think will actually happen in the end? Will it pass in the Senate?
I'm confident it's going to pass. The longest government shutdown in American history, partial shutdown. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell does not want that to happen again. He has a great expression, there's no education in a second kick of a mule. This will be the 3rd kick of a mule. It's better for the country, it's better for the Congress, it's better for the president, for them to avoid another shutdown, and I'm confident it's going to pass both chambers.
But what do you say, Antonia, about, though, that there are many conservatives who think that this is just not good enough and that the Democrats really won one this time against the president?
Well, the president's poll numbers have rebounded tremendously since the last shutdown. My view is, look, the perfect can't be the enemy of the good here. The good is let's fund the government. He did get a down payment on the wall. And every single year since he's been president, there has been new money in there for construction along the southern border. It may not be everything that every conservative wants. They also don't tend to love spending bills in general. So take the win where you get it and keep chipping away moving forward. All
right, Andrew, what do you think?
Well, I think this isn't the president just losing to Democrats. This became a fight of the president versus all of Congress. Democrats and Republicans are accustomed to compromising on these spending bills. They're never totally satisfactory. Everybody gets something. But when the president made it just about the wall, that's like his white whale, and he only could do harm to himself by making that issue of principle, weird issue of principle, the main issue in budget negotiations. Budget negotiations are spending numbers up and down.
And certainly Nancy Pelosi, who used to be on the Appropriations Committee, knew that well, and I guess that will just be what she tries to push forward. We'll see if the president, if it passes the Senate, we'll then have to wait to see if the president will sign it. Also, another topic, Mitch McConnell, the Senate Majority Leader, saying that the Senate is going to vote on the Green New Deal. It's endorsed by several 2020 Democratic presidential candidates. Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is not too happy. Listen.
Since Republicans took control of this chamber in 2015, they have not brought a single Republican bill to meaningfully reduce carbon emissions to the floor of the Senate. Not one bill. In fact, the Republican majority has spent the Senate's time on legislation that would make climate change even worse.
What about that criticism, Antonia?
Well, look, I think there's a difference of opinion on this topic. Senator McConnell is from Kentucky. It is a coal mining and coal producing state. He ran his race in 2014 on coal, and the president has been an avowed supporter of fossil fuels. I think at the end of the day, this demonstrates a tremendous difference between the parties. There is Red America, and they want to have cheap electricity, cheap fuel costs, and this is one of those things where you have just a partisan divide. Senator McConnell wants to have a vote on it. Senator Schumer shouldn't be afraid of that. That's where his party is, so have a vote on it. They shouldn't be afraid, and we'll see where the chips lie once that vote happens.
So, Andrew, many Democrats calling Mitch McConnell's move here to be cynical and that it's a stunt. My question is, then why, if that's the case and they believe that, then why wouldn't Schumer just tell all the Democrats, go ahead and vote no on this and beat him at his own game?
Yeah, they've done that in similar circumstances before. It is a stunt. It's a type of stunt that Democrats have also attempted when they were in control. So it's familiar if you've been around a long time. Democrats can vote against it. They can vote present. They can abstain.
Right.
In the end, because it has no actual effect, it's just an aspirational statement. I think people will forget about it fairly quickly.
Antonia, let me ask you just one other thing. Today is the anniversary of the Parkland shooting, and of course we have to think about all those things that occurred. It was very troubling, of course, to all of these people today. You see them this morning mourning the loss. The House, led by the Democrats, passed a big background check bill yesterday, and more is coming on that front. Do you think that has any hopes of passing in the Senate?
Look, my heart goes out for all the Parkland families. I can't even imagine. I'm from New England. Guns resonate differently where I'm from than throughout the country. I do not foresee this being considered in the Senate. The Democrats could obviously offer an amendment moving forward. I just don't think the numbers are there to get something like that through the Senate.
And Andrew, gun control advocates that want to see more action, they're not just waiting around for Washington, D.C. to do something. They're working in all of these state capitals across the country. Having more success there?
Well, they're having more success in some of the states. They're also registering voters. The big story of the 2018 midterm was the wipeout of Republican House members in suburban districts. Those are the districts where gun control is probably most salient to voters, and now it's working in the Democrats' advantage.
Right. It was interesting to watch this issue, and we'll see what happens, of course, and our hearts are really with all of those victims' families as they grieve today. Andrew Littman and Antonia Ferrier, thank you so much.
Thanks, Dana.
Thank you.